Guys, please check your audio and video settings, please. Yes, guys. Today I am starting a new module, Spring JDBC, which is also called Spring DAO. Yes. In Spring, we can write persistence logic in multiple ways. I think you know what is persistence logic, guys. What is persistence logic? Code operations. Database connectivity. I'm talking about database connectivity. Code operations on database software. Code operations on database software. Database operations, guys. Okay. Number one, using Spring JDBC. Okay. Provides abstraction on plain JDBC technology and simplifies SQL queries based database software dependent persistence logic development. Database software dependent persistence logic development. Understanding my statement, guys? Next, using Spring ORM. Wait, what is that? Using Spring ORM provides abstraction on. Okay, guys. On plain, Hibernate and etc. ORM frameworks, ORM frameworks, and simplifies objects based. What, guys? Objects based, nothing but without SQL queries. Objects based database software independent persistence logic. Yeah, what's the difference between both, guys? It allows us to develop SQL queries based persistence logic in JDBC style. It allows us to develop what? Objects based persistence logic without any SQL queries. Okay, everything object means when database changes, do you think object will change? No. SQL queries are database software specific, 70% common, 30% dependent to each database software. If no SQL queries are there, means everything is happening through objects, means persistence logic is database software independent. Spring ORM provides abstraction on Hibernate, allows us to develop objects-based persistence logic. Spring JDBC provides abstraction on plain JDBC and simplifies what? JDBC style persistence logic development. Okay, guys. Number C, Spring Data JPA. Spring Data JPA. Now listen. enhancement to what, guys? Enhancement to Spring ORM. Okay, Spring ORM, which generates common persistence logic. Common persistence logics for the given DB tables, dynamically. That means it gives objects based without SQL queries. Database software, independent persistence logic. Independent. Understanding my point there? Independent persistence logic. Independent persistence logic. Independent persistence logic. Dynamically. Listen, guys. Here we should write the logic. Here logics will be common persistence logics will be generated dynamically. The common persistence logic will be generated dynamically. I think you are understanding. Suppose I have given table. So table means what? One insert operation, one update operation, one delete operation, one select operation. So like this 10 to 15 commonly used persistence operations will be there. Those logics will be automatically generated if I use Spring Data JPA. If any other logics are there, we should sit and write. But here, every logic I should develop, but I will get abstraction on Hibernate, simplify the persistence logic development. Here also, every logic I should develop, instead of writing from scratch level, okay, I will get abstraction on plain JDBC so that simplification will be there in what? Persistence logic development. Okay, all these are the three options that we are having nowadays to interact with the database software to develop the persistence logic. No doubt in that. Understanding my statement, guys? All three are the options that we are having, boss. Okay. So in our course, we are going to concentrate Spring JDBC because both are there in our syllabus, guys. So Spring JDBC and Spring ORM. So Spring Data JPA you will get when you try to learn microservices kind of thing. As part of microservices programming, you will be studying this. Only for knowledge sake, I am introducing this. But mainly we are going to concentrate on what? Spring JDBC and Spring ORM. Okay, guys. Now let's see. Plain JDBC application. Let us see various points related to plain JDBC application. I think right. I think everyone knows plain JDBC as part of advanced Java. You might have studied that. Okay. Tell me here, what will be there in that, guys? Plain JDBC. Load JDBC driver class, right? Load JDBC driver class. Next, establish the connection. Establish the connection. Come on, guys. Next one. Create statement object. Send and execute the SQL query. Gather SQL query results. SQL query results and process the results. Okay, next. Close the connection. In between, there will be one more thing called exception handling. Okay, exception handling. Super, guys. These are common logics. These are common logics. Common logics. Nice. These are also called what? Common logics. Right. These are what? Application specific logics. Application specific logic. If I write 10, 20 JDBC application, guys, these things will remain same. Application to application, only these two things will change. Application to application, only these two things will change. Understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Right. That's why I call them as common logic. These are what? Application specific logic. In plain JDBC application, the programmer needs to take care of both common logics and application specific logics. Application specific logics. Common logics are called boilerplate code because they repeat in multiple parts of project, either with no changes or with minor changes. Either with no changes or with minor changes. Are you listening my statement, guys? Either with no changes or with minor changes. Yes, these are called common logics, guys. Are you understanding my statement? Here, no changes or minor changes. Everyone getting my point? Super, boss. Next, what we are having? Spring JDBC application. Spring JDBC application. Are Spring JD? Spring JDBC is the module of Spring framework, guys. Module of Spring framework. So indirectly we are based. Create JDBC template class object injecting data source object. Create JDBC template class object injecting data source object. This takes care of common logics internally by using plain JDBC. That means you need not to write the boilerplate code. You need not to write the common logics. The common logics are internally generated by JDBC template code. Why it is called as JDBC template? You take a letter template. Common content will be there. Only specific content you have to write. Resume template you take. Common side heading, common headings will be there. Common messages will be there. You have to change only specific things, right? Biodata form you take. Common things it will maintain. Only specific thing you have to change. So JDBC template also taking care of what? Common things and making you to worry about only specific activities. Understanding my point? Okay, guys. Next. Send and execute SQL query to database software. gather results and process results. Gather results and process results. Are you getting my point there, guys? Gather results and see, observe here common logic, specific logic. Here we are mainly focusing on developing application specific logics or not. Application specific logics. Right. Now listen. Limitations with plain JDBC. Limitations with plain JDBC, guys. Yeah. Boilerplate code problem. Boilerplate code problem. What do you say, guys? We have to write common logics now. Next. All exceptions are checked exceptions. All exceptions are checked exceptions. So we are forced to catch and handle the exceptions. We are forced to catch and handle the exceptions. Handle the exceptions. Come on, guys. Next one. This forced exception handling. This forced exception handling is not good for. Are you listening my statement, guys? Exception propagation. Are in our laid application, it's better to catch and handle the exception, or it's better to go for what? It's better to catch and handle the exception, or is it better, okay, to propagate the exception from one layer to another layer? Recollect, laid application, nail application is not good for exception propagation. That is required in laid applications development. Laid applications development. Are you comfortable, guys? Okay, guys. Next one. Every select query execution gives result set object, and it is not serializable objects to send its data over the network. Can we send non-serializable objects data over the network, guys? No. We can send only serializable objects data over the network. So then how to send result set object data over the network? Now listen carefully. To send result set objects data over the network, we copy the data to come on. Okay, we copy the data to collection and we send collection data over the network. Collection data over the network. Collection data over the network. Okay, with collection data over that by adding extra logics. Are you understanding? Actually, when you execute select query, what you will get? Result set object having records. Do you think result set object is serializable object? No. Can we send result set object data over the network? No. But I want to send result set object records over the network. What should I do? What should I do? Come on. Okay. We have to copy results and records to collection. Send collection over the network. Why, sir? All collections are serializable objects by default. In core Java, you might have noticed this statement. All collections are serializable objects by default. All collections are serializable objects by default. This much hangama is there, guys. Suppose Paytm has got the 10 records from the database, wants to send to Flipkart. It cannot send. Paytm has first converted the results and records into collection, and it has to send that collection over the network. Understanding my point? Nice, guys. Next one, E. E, guys. Supports only positional parameters. Question mark symbols. Okay. If more positional parameters are there, in the SQL query. Okay. Count of index. The count of index may become problem. The count of index may become problematic. Are you listening my statement, guys? Ten question marks are there, guys. If you count properly, nice. But if you don't count properly, you may end up with giving wrong indexes or not. We may end up with giving wrong indexes or not. No support for named parameters. Or instead of question mark symbol, if every parameter is having name, like Java methods, it would be nice or not. No support for named parameters. Unfortunately, there is no support for what? Named parameters. Everyone got the clarity, guys? Nice, guys. And etc. Sir, we studied JDBC these many days, but we never seen in this angle. While learning JDBC, we never studied drawbacks of JDBC, Babu. While leaving JDBC, we have to understand limitations of JDBC. I'm not saying JDBC is outdated, but these are the problems that are there with plain JDBC coding. These are the limitations that we are having in plain JDBC coding. That is what I'm trying to say. Apart from that, I'm not saying JDBC outdated. JDBC never be outdated. I will tell. You use Hibernate, you use Spring JDBC, use Spring ORM, you use Spring Data JPA. Directly, indirectly, the last component that actually talk to database software from your Java application is JDBC. On the top of JDBC, one layer may come, two layer can come, three layers may come. But at the end, the last layer that actually talks to database software from Java application is what? JDBC. Okay, let me put like this. Spring Data JPA internally uses Spring ORM. Spring ORM internally uses Spring JDBC. Spring JDBC internally uses plain JDBC, talks to database software. Suppose you are using only Spring ORM. Spring ORM internally uses Spring JDBC. Spring JDBC uses plain JDBC, talks to database software. You are using only Hibernate. We think that we are working with Hibernate, but Hibernate internally uses JDBC and talks to database software. If you go to ice cream parlor, guys, They may give n number of names, but at the end it is ice cream. Got it now? On the top of 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, 10 layers may come, but at the end it is ice cream only. They say X flavor, Y flavor. They say that mix, this mix. Nowadays, stone ice cream is also coming. They'll ask customer what to want to have in the ice cream. People select different things. But at the end, ice cream is, they are ice cream or not. One more example. People says biryani, palau, okay, lemon rice, tomato rice, jeera rice, X rice, Y rice, Z rice. But at the end, it is rice only, na? Flavors may change, but at the end, it's a rice. Similarly, on the top of JDBC, maybe 1 layer, maybe 2 layer, maybe 10 layers may come. But from Java application, if you want to talk to database software, the basic core that is required is what? JDBC. That's why you cannot dare to say JDBC is outdated. If someone says JDBC is outdated, you don't have maturity to understand that. I can definitely say you don't have maturity to understand the subject, guys. So that's why plain JDBC is not outdated, but direct utilization of plain JDBC is reduced. People are using, programmers are using JDBC through abstractions given by other technologies and frameworks, other Java technologies and frameworks. Other Java technologies and frameworks like Hibernate, Spring JDBC, Spring ORM, okay, and etc. Spring ORM and etc. Everyone got the clarity, guys? Okay, this is application. This is application, guys. Application can interact with the database software in multiple ways. Spring Data JPA, Spring ORM, Hibernate, JDBC, and database software. Hibernate, JDBC, and database software. Yes. I'll give various options, guys. Here is my database software. Option number 1. This is my Java application. Option number 1. Application uses plain JDBC and talks to database software. This is option number 1. This is a Hibernate, guys. This is Hibernate, guys. This is Spring Data JPA, guys. This is Spring ORM. I'll give all options, don't worry. Application. This is number 1 option, boss. Number 1 This is also number one. Right. Number two, initially it happened was later people started using Hibernate. Hibernate internally uses JDBC and JDBC internally talks to database software. This is the few option. This is the after once people felt bored with JDBC, they have started going for this. Okay, this is number two, guys. This is number two. Done, guys. Next, for a few days, one thing is missing here. Here, one more thing is there, Spring JDBC, guys. Spring JDBC. For a few days, they have gone for this option. Java application uses Spring JDBC. Spring JDBC uses plain JDBC. And plain JDBC talks to database software. This is one option that went well for a few days. This is number three. This is number three. This is number three. Right, guys. After that, people, instead of using plain Hibernate directly, they decided to work with what? They decided to work with what? Plain Spring ORM. Spring ORM uses plain Hibernate. Plain Hibernate uses plain JDBC. And this will talk to database software. This will talk to database software. Right, guys? This is number four, guys. Number four. Number four. Number four. This is again number four. This is the one option. Okay, guys. Next, last one. Java application is using Spring Data JPA. Spring Data JPA is using Spring ORM. Spring ORM is using Hibernate. Hibernate is using JDBC. And JDBC is talking to database software. See, guys, ultimately JDBC is there or not? Come on, guys. Okay, ultimately JDBC is there everywhere or not? Are you noticing it? So can anyone say JDBC is outdated, guys? Is there anyone dare to say JDBC outdated? Yeah, maybe direct utilization of JDBC is reduced because flavors are coming, right? See, guys, fire is not outdated, but direct firing to cook the food is reduced. In that place, gas stoves have come, induction stoves have come, and other options have come. But fire is outdated. Huh? Fire is not outdated. Understanding my point? Okay, guys. Sandeep Gaud, I will give basics of Hibernate before teaching ORM. Don't take tension. But if you have a time, better to learn complete Hibernate course. Right. Okay. Number five, guys. Number five, guys. Number five. Number five. Number five. I think you got all permutation and combinations, guys. Done. Now listen. Spring JDBC internally uses plain JDBC technology and generates common logics to avoid the boilerplate coding. Boilerplate coding in the programming. Coding in the programming. Okay. And takes care of okay, common aspects of the program. Takes care of the common aspects of the program. Done, guys. Right, guys? Operation. Programmer, Spring JDBC. Which operation will be taken care by programmer? Which operation will be taken care by Spring JDBC? While working with the Spring JDBC, I am talking about setting up data source and connection, JDBC connection. Tell me, guys, this will be taken care by this is taken care by programmer or Spring JDBC? Yeah. This has to be taken care by programmer. No. Setting up data source and JDBC connection. Providing data source to get the connection is the responsibility of the programmer only, not the Spring JDBC. Otherwise, how does it know which data source it has to use? Come on. Establishing the connection with the database software. It is taken care by whom? Spring JDBC. Next. Just recollect our Spring JDBC program in mind and tell me. Creating statement object. Taken care by Spring JDBC. Come on, guys. Next. Preparing SQL query. Preparing SQL query. Query should be done by whom? Programmer. Query should be done by what? Programmer. Next. Sending and executing the query. Sending and executing the query is taken care by Spring JDBC. Next. Gathering the results. Gathering the results. Iterating through. Result set object if needed. If needed. Should be done by whom? Spring JDBC. Not the programmer. Not the programmer. Come on. Preparing query is programmer. Sending and executing query is Spring JDBC. Rahul, there is a two different aspects. Be alert. Don't be dumb. Preparation of query is my responsibility. Sending and executing that query is taken care by what? Spring JDBC. Internally, it uses plain JDBC for that, guys. Number 8. Exception handling. Exception handling and exception rethrowing. Rethrowing for propagation. Exception rethrowing for propagation. Taken care by whom? Spring JDBC. Taken care by whom? Spring JDBC. Got the point? Number 9, closing JDBC objects taken care by whom? Spring JDBC. Are majority operations are taken care by Spring JDBC. Only specific operation should be done by programmer. I hope you realized that, guys. Right, boss. So Spring JDBC is taking care of multiple things or not? Spring JDBC is really taking care of multiple things or not? Come on. Right, guys. Spring JDBC advantages. No boilerplate code. No boilerplate code. Next. Luckily, we don't have any boiler. Common logics are taken care by Spring JDBC, right? Next. No boilerplate code. No boilerplate code. Come on, guys. Next. All exceptions. Spring JDBC. All exceptions are unchecked exceptions. Unchecked exceptions. Unchecked exception. So there is no need of exception handling. Come on. And supports exception propagation. Interesting or not? Even support exception propagation nicely, guys. Exception propagation nicely. Come on, come on. Are you understanding my statement? Array, unchecked exception. Is there any rule to catch and handle exception? No. When you don't catch and handle, they will propagate to caller automatically or not. Next one. Okay, guys. Supports both named and positional parameters. Parameters in the queries. Supports both named and positional parameters in the queries, guys. Supports both named and positional parameters in the SQL queries. That's a good news. Not positional means what? Question marks. Named means there will be name for the parameter, guys. Array, there will be name. For every parameter, there will be name. Supports both named and positional parameters in the SQL queries. Simply in the SQL queries. Right, guys. Now listen. Gives various query for triplex methods to get select SQL query results. Select SQL query results in different formats like map, list, Java bean object, integer, long, and etc. Array, you need not to get results at object. You need not to convert results into what? List map collections, guys. You can directly get results into records into list map collections. Very, very interesting or not? In JDBC, what happens? Everything comes into result set object after executing select query. Later we have to convert into collections, right? But here select queries are directly giving what? Here select queries are directly giving me what, guys? Come on. Here select queries are directly, seriously, directly giving me what, guys? Come on. Map, list, Java, bean class object, integer, long values. However you want, you can get it. So burden on the programmer is definitely reduced or not. Next, guys. Okay, guys. Supports both select and non-select queries execution. Queries execution. F. It happily supports both select and non-select queries execution, guys. Happily it supports, boss. No doubt in that. Okay, now listen. Gives callback interfaces having callback methods exposing JDBC objects to write more customized logics. More customized logics. This is another beautiful feature which I liked, guys. Okay, guys. Which is another beautiful feature which I liked. Everyone concentrate. Array, Spring JDBC has given 200 methods to get the results in different formats by sending and executing queries. You may have 201 requirement because you don't like 200 format results, guys. You want result in 201 format. Come on. Option number 1, go to plain JDBC. You get the result in the way you want. From the scratch level, you develop the code. If you come to Spring JDBC, good, but that is not fulfilling our requirement. But for small reason, moving to plain JDBC meaningless, na? What Spring JDBC says, I am providing callback interfaces with callback methods. I will expose JDBC connection object, statement objects to those methods. Okay, you take those objects and you write the JDBC code in Spring JDBC in the way you want to get the result. In the way you want to get the result. That means in Spring JDBC also, wherever needed, you can write plain JDBC code to get the customized results. To simply get the customized results. Are you listening my statement? I'll take one real life example to understand this in a better manner. One ice cream parlor is there. They are just selling ready-made ice creams. Butterscotch, vanilla, okay, butterscotch with the nuts. Everything is ready-made. Menu will be there. You have to select the item and they will give the delivery. But different customers will have different taste. Some people wants to eat ice cream with nuts. Some people wants to eat ice cream with cherries. Some people wants to eat ice cream with what are those bubbles here? Choco chips. Some people wants to eat ice cream with what is that? With the mix of gulab jamun, with the mix of choco syrup, with the mix of honey, right? Different people will have. Some people wants to eat ice cream with what? Pan. And nowadays, pan ice cream is also there. Some people wants to eat ice cream with gems. Some people want to mix up everything they like. Some people wants to eat with the tutti fruities, right? Come on. Okay, guys. Tell me, guys, do you think factory can give all these possibilities? Impossible. If they create 100,000 varieties, also customer may have 1,001 requirement. And managing 1,001 varieties in the catalog is also very horrible. Come on, guys. So that's why nowadays what has come? Stone ice cream has come. Customized ice cream has come. They're keeping basic flavors of ice cream in the counter. Customer goes, selects what you want to mix, and accordingly ice cream will be given to customer or not. Due to this, what happened? Factory don't have much burden. Ice cream parallel need not to have much burden. Customer also need not to worry about what. Okay, selecting one item from 1,000 items is practically impossible. Are you listening my statement, guys? So both are happy or not? Customer is happy, factory is happy, because factory just need to prepare basic flavors of ice cream. Customer need not to remember all ice cream flavor names or product names. You just need to come to counter, tell the basic flavor, tell the toppings what you want to have, and ice cream is coming according to his customization. Both are happy or not? Now listen, Spring JDBC is simplifying the coding. Okay, it is giving ready-made method to give the results in the customer in the way you want. But let us assume it is having 100 method to give the results in 100 format. You have 101 requirement. That ready-made method is not there. Option number 1, go to plain JDBC, write entire code from scratch level. Very heavy. Option number 2, stay with the Spring JDBC only. Take the support of callback interface and callback method, where we will get plain JDBC objects like connection statement. Inside that you write plain JDBC code, get the results in a customized manner, however you want. How exactly you want, however you want, you can get the results in a customized manner. What do you say, guys? I hope you convinced or not. Okay, one last real life example to understand the importance of callback interfaces. You came to Amirpet to learn the courses. Physically, you started staying in what? Amirpet, hostels or rooms. Okay, when you come to Amirpet for stay, they have 2 options. Number 1, stay in the hostel, attend the classes. Number 2, stay in the room, attend the classes. Stay in a flat, attend the classes. Hostel advantage, you need not to worry about food, water, nothing. On time, lunch will be there, breakfast will be there, dinner will be there. You can concentrate on attending classes and you can full focus on course only. But problem with the taste of the food is not good. Health, you may get health problem if you eat hostel food daily. Come on. Okay, guys. It is like Spring JDBC kind of thing. Joining in hostel attending classes is like Spring JDBC kind of thing. Good, but you may not like the taste of the food. Option number 1 over. Option number 2, stay in a flat or room, prepare food according to your taste, according to your health needs, and also attend the classes. But when you're staying in flat, taking care of these many things, you may not give full focus to classes, right? Can you give full focus to classes, guys? Maybe not possible. Maybe not possible. Come on. Because you have to catch water, you have to take care of food cooking, cleaning, room cleaning, and number of things. So in that angle, what is good? Hostel is good. But hostel, what is the one problem? Taste of the food is the problem. Suppose, if hostel people says, you come and stay with us, we provide lunch, dinner, breakfast, you can focus on the classes. The day you didn't like our food, our curry or our rice, whatever it is, we are providing what? One small kitchen for you. In that one, all things will be there. All facilities will be there. Come, cook and eat on that particular day. The day you like our food, eat our food. The day you didn't like our food, you cook on your own and eat it. When that option is given to you, you will feel comfortable staying in hostel only, na? Please respond. You feel comfortable staying in hostel or not? You feel comfortable staying in hostel itself or not? Come on. Yes, guys. The same thing I am talking here. As long as you are okay with the Spring JDBC ready-made method to get the results in the format it is giving, good. The day you want more results, just stick with the callback methods. They expose basic JDBC objects that are internally created. Take them, write plain JDBC code, and get the more customized results you want. That's the beauty, boss. That's the beauty. That means you are not going to compromise anything. Here also we can get the results in the way you want. I hope you got the clarity, guys. Come on. These are the various advantages we are having with the Spring JDBC, boss. Different ways of developing Spring JDBC persistence logic. Spring JDBC persistence logic. Number 1, using JDBC template. Number 2, using named parameter JDBC template. Number C, using simple JDBC template. Okay. Removed from Spring 4.x because same features are added to JDBC template itself. It is like use and throw kind of concept. In Spring 2.x, JDBC template was not supporting Java 6, Java 7 feature like varrocs, auto boxing, auto unboxing kind of thing, generics. That's why they have brought Spring simple JDBC template supporting varrocs, auto boxing, auto unboxing, generics kind of thing. But in Spring 3, they have improvised JDBC template supporting varrocs, generics kind of thing. Then they deprecated in Spring 3.x and they removed in Spring 4.x onwards. So nowadays, studying JDBC template is nothing but studying simple JDBC template. Are you understanding, boss? It's something like this, guys. It's something like this. Company has got project on new technology. No one knows the technology. They hide one professional who is expert in the technology. Okay, paying huge amount. But company people given warning to existing employees. Within 1 year, you have to upgrade to the technology. You should become master of working on the technology. Okay, somehow existing employees, 4 or 5 members followed that senior new recruit or new employee. Under his guidance, they have become expert of working on new technology. Okay, after 1 year, company has fired that particular expert of the technology. Company has fired that part because his salary is more. He is burdened to the company. Same thing with this simple JDBC template or not. When JDBC template was not updated, upgraded, simple JDBC template came supporting new feature. The moment JDBC template says I am upgraded, so simple JDBC template is thrown away. I think, are you realizing the point, guys? Right, boss. Next. Okay. Next one, using simple JDBC insert, simple JDBC call. Number E, mapping SQL operations as subclasses. These are the 5 approaches that we are having, boss. And most regularly used is this one. Important. 99% of the industry uses these 2 things, okay, while working with the Spring JDBC. Only 1% industry, there may be a chance of getting these 2 things. Anyhow, this is outdated because now these features are already there in JDBC template. Important techniques. Right, guys. Harry, what can you list out the names, guys? JDBC template, named parameter JDBC template, simple JDBC template, Simple JDBC insert simple JDBC call, mapping SQL operations as subclasses. Array, your operations are nothing but queries, guys. We will explore one by one. For all these techniques, we need a JDBC connection object to interact with the database software. Come on, guys, to interact with the database software. And all these techniques prefers working with pooled connection. What, guys? Pooled JDBC connection. All these techniques prefer working with pooled JDBC connection, guys. Pooled JDBC connection for DB interaction. DB connection with the support of DataSource object. Are you listening my statement, guys? Direct connection is bad. We have to prefer working with pooled connection. What do you mean by pooled connection, guys? The connection object that is gathered from JDBC connection. Very popular interview question. What is the JDBC connection pool or JDBC data source that you have used in your Spring project, in your Spring application? Interviewer asks this question, guys. Sir, in layered application, I have used a driver manager data source. I will give that answer. Okay. Don't give that answer by mistake also, boss. Driver manager data source docs. Look at the comment in driver manager data source docs. This class is not an actual connection pool. It does not actually pool connection. It just serves as simple replacement for full-blown connection pool, implementing same standard interface, but creating new connection on every call. You call get connection method 300 times. It will create 300 connection object. It never thinks about using existing object. Are you listening my statement, guys? So that's why it is testing purpose okay, classroom level okay, company level, testing level okay. But in real project, it should not be used. It should not be used in real project. See, guys, in a JWE container, it is recommended to use what? Server managed connection pool. JNDA data source provided by container. Understanding? Okay, guys. If it is outside, they are recommending us to use what? Apache DBCP C3 P0 kind of thing. Come on. So that means whatever we have used in our mini project, that is not the best. It is not actually connection pool. It's very bad. Better not to use. Right. First of all, answer, wrong answer. Wrong answer. Generally, people will be tempted to say wrong answer, this wrong answer. Because we have used it in our mini project, that's why they will say wrong answer. What is this? Driver manager data source. Yeah, why? Whatever I collected from the documentation. That is not my statement. Note, this class is not an actual connection pool. It does not actually pool connection. It serves as a simple replacement for full-blown collection pool. Implementing same standard interface means data source interface, but creating new connections on every call. No reusability of connection, guys. Whenever you ask connection, it will create new connection. Second time you ask, again it will create new connection. Third time you ask, there is no reusability. When reusability is not there, how can you say it's a pool? So that's why it's a wrong answer. Listen. This is very important answer you should use in the interview room. One guy, his name is Ganesh. I think 2 years back, he has attended one interview. That company, after conducting 2 rounds of oral interview, they said, come on. They said, you have to give system test. You have to give system test. In the system test, they have given one layered application. This fellow completed. While completing it, his system is not having internet connection. He demanded for internet connection. Okay. When he demanded for internet connection, one employee came to him and asked, why you need internet connection? He asked, I want to work with Hikari CP connection pool, Apache DBCP connection pool. Okay, don't use. Okay, in the system already driver manager data source related jars are there. In the previous projects we have used that only. Okay, so okay, don't no need of internet connection, work with the driver manager data source. This guy strongly argued and said, I don't want to work with the driver manager data source. He said, why? Why you are not? Because we are also using in the project, its testing is going good. Okay, then in his mobile, he has opened documentation of driver manager data source as I have opened. And he made that company fellow reading this line. Then he realized, oh, it is not pulling the connection. It is not reusing old object. Every time creating a new objects. Okay, somehow he completed system test. He got a job. Okay, on the day of introducing. Okay, on the day of introducing this new joinee to the team members. Okay, one incredible statement is given. What is that, you know? Other day, I asked you people not to work with the driver manager data source. I asked you people to change to Apache DBCP or Hikari CP. It's because of him only I changed my mind. Because of him only I changed his mind. So now onwards, if you got any technical doubts, along with me, you can also contact this fellow. That's a grand introduction that is given to employee on the day of joining. So automatically impression is increased in the TL's mind or not. TL means team leader's mind. Are you listening my statement, guys? That's the power of this one. And at the end, what you know, that fellow has shown gap as experience, 2 years gap as experience. The real working person appreciated the knowledge of person who has shown gap as experience. Because working people just worries about running the code, guys. They never worried about performance of the code, all aspects of the code. So the senior people who has got maturity, they read documentation and number of things, they give suggestion. Since I am presenting subject in that angle, if you use this subject, definitely you can show gap as experience. Everyone got the clarity? Then what is the right answer, sir? What is the correct answer, sir? Correct answer. If your Spring application is standalone application, then use standalone JDBC connection. Standalone JDBC connection pool like Apache DBCP2, Hikari CP. I'm not scolding anyone. These are the names of the connection pool. C3P0, C3P0, Vibur, Proxul. But right now, market leader is Hikari CP, boss. Market leader is Hikari CP. No, sir. Sometimes I will develop web application also. If your Spring application is web application, then use the underlying server managed The underlying server managed JDBC connection. The underlying server managed JDBC connection. Are you listening my statement, guys? The underlying server managed JDBC connection. Super, guys. Like if web application is deployed in Tomcat, Tomcat managed JDBC connection pool. Okay, guys. Glassfish managed JDBC connection pool, and etc. Everyone getting my point here, guys? Everyone understanding my statement here, guys? Clear, my dears? Is that okay? In real time, mostly used server nowadays is Wildfly server, guys. Wildfly Glassfish will be used regularly. But nowadays, some projects are even preferring Tomcat because Tomcat is nowadays doing well. Nowadays, Tomcat also doing well. That depends upon the company, boss. Popular server is Wildfly, next Glassfish, then Tomcat. WebLogic, WebSpheres are outdated nowadays. No one is preferring to work with them. They have become heavy and that's why there is no much popularity for what? WebLogic, WebSphere. They are old days, they are popular, now not. Now they are not that much popular. I hope you got good introduction of Spring JDBC. I hope you understood. Okay, one final question I want to ask. In Spring JDBC persistence logic, SQL queries will be there or not? SQL queries will be there or not? Please respond in the chat box. SQL queries will be there or not? Yes. Will be there. Cool, cool. Yeah. No, not internally. We only write. We only write. Preparing queries is our responsibility. Right? Dirty fellows. Prepare SQL queries is our responsibility, right? Next. Execution happens internally. We don't write. Spring JDBC persistence logic is database software dependent or independent? Database software dependent or independent? Dependent. Please don't confuse dependent. Why still SQL queries are there? SQL queries are database software dependent. Still we are writing SQL queries dependent. Whenever Hibernate kind of involved, Hibernate kind of ORM framework involved, no SQL queries. Everything through objects. Everything through objects means persistence logic is database software independent. That I will speak before introducing what? Spring ORM module. Don't worry. Right, boss. So keep all these things in mind. Tomorrow we will see application development using Hikari CP and JDBC template. Don't miss the introduction class. Thank you. Have a nice time.